Hello, everybody. Dorothy here, professional astrologer. We're going to talk about the energy, the astrological energy for June 29th. We are just in the new moon phase now, just barely. So this represents a growth, a waxing, a growth opportunity for all of us based off of the energy of Cancer. And that is how we're feeling. Are we nurturing ourselves well enough? Are we taking care of our families? Right? It is very emotional. So I'm going to talk about that and how we can use it for today, June 29th. I will also do some astro dice. And here, let me get this over here. It's not so shiny. We'll draw a card. All right. Somebody wanted to see what that was. Nature Spirit by Denise Lynn. All right. I'm going to share my screen. And for those of you who are new here, welcome. And don't forget to hit subscribe, please. And, YouTube's not so great at serving me up to new people. So if you've just happened to find me, subscribe and hit the notification button because you'll be notified when I put new things up. You don't have to wait for YouTube to tell you because they're not great at that. I'm not one of those super famous people that the stuff comes up all the time, even though I'm much better. Making fun. Thanks for joining me. Let's get started. Moon is out of bounds. This is the new moon. It feels super fragile when we have this new moon in a water sign, especially in its own sign, the moon in Cancer. It is fragile and it feels frail and fragile. And we need to, hover over our new thoughts and our new ideas and our new things that we want to create. We need to hover over it and protect it until it gets a little stronger. So until we get another day or two going, and then we'll feel like things have more are more solid, right? So the new moon in Cancer has the energy of this is about, our emotions are high. Even all the clients I've had in the last 3 days are focusing on family things, whether to expand the family or children in the family or the home where I live, things like that. So it is in the air, the energy of caring, nurturing family, home, and feeling safe and feeling secure. That is all part of what's going on with this new moon in Cancer. And we just need to treat ourselves well and gently and easily when we have this much Cancer energy present. With Neptune stationary, and it's now retrograde, but it doesn't stay, stationary, it stays at 25 degrees for weeks. So it's not really moving anywhere. And with Neptune in the sign of Pisces, and now that it's stationary to retrograde, again, this is more of let's move with the flow and trust our intuition, trust how we feel, because it's hard to see those edges. It's hard to see where the edge of the road is, if you will, because it's like driving in a foggy day. You can't quite see. That's why they paint, at least here, that's why they paint white lines, because those are fog lines. We're not allowed to, at least that's what I've been told. The ones on the edge, right, of a road. That way you can actually see where the edge of the road is in bad weather. And that's how I feel that what we're doing right now with the moon in Cancer, this new moon in Cancer, and Neptune in Pisces, especially retrograde. We're having a hard time seeing what direction we're going these days. And we know that because there's just an awful lot of very emotional things going on in the world. And I want you to, we're going to use another road analogy, stay in your own lane. Go do the things that you need to do. Go celebrate, go, what's the word? Picket. Oh my gosh. I can't remember what the word is right now. Go do those things. Protest. That's it. Whatever, wherever you are, and do what you need to do. And I get that. But also make sure you come back to your home, your apartment, whatever, and, clear that energy so you're able to live your life and not live everything out of that heightened sense of emotion that's been stirred up these days. Bring it back to you. When we have, here's Mercury, it's at 90 degrees of Gemini today. And we've had a lot of activity in that area. right? We had solar eclipse back there on June 10th, 2021. Really important. Yeah, 2021. Super important, even though that was over a year ago. Mercury coming through here and activating that will bring that up, because just a little while ago, we also had the first quarter moon there. So that 90 degrees of Gemini is a sensitive place for us to get information and gather information. All right. And we still have, this was late in the night last night as well, Venus and Jupiter in a sextile to each other, both the polarity, same polarity, the yang polarity, so that is outgoing and active. So it has a lot to do with, again, more of the information, the dynamic, the duality of what's going on with Venus and Gemini. And it gives us, looking at content and information, trying to look at it from both perspectives, if you can. It's okay to look at it. You don't have to agree with both perspectives, but that's what we have going on. Lots of that, tons of it. The sun and Pluto aren't doing anything with each other in the zodiac, but let me tell you over here, they're contra-parallel, and that is tough because that's a tug of war, a power struggle. And we know we've got that going on. It's part of the division that's being created. I know. We have a lot of that. So I hope that's helpful in some ways. So Wednesday, the 29th, will be more sensitive than usual, but as sensitive as we've been the last few days, just because there's a lot of emotions and we cannot help it. Neptune and Pisces creates a lot of sensitivity for everybody, the collective. So we could feel sensitive. So take care of yourself. Power struggles happen, but you can take care of yourself too. All right, let's do the Astro dice. And yes, I've been out kayaking a lot, and I put face sunscreen on, but I tan easily. Look at that. We have the moon in the 8th house. The moon in Cancer in the 8th house is what I rolled. Isn't that something? So the moon in Cancer is, of course, where it is. So if it's in the 8th house, that is how home and family is going through some type of deeper transition. It speaks to the Supreme Court hearing. Things are changing. So it does speak to that. So why is that an additional content from Spirit? Well, we needed to change. When things change, whoopsies, that went flying. That lots of times means there's room for something new. Wait till you see this card. That means there's room for something new and something better. So something better can come out of this. Circle of Life. That's the card that flew out. You saw me shuffling. So there's always a beginning and always an ending. And at the ending is another beginning. And so we'll bring this around. I didn't pick that one. That one just had to come out. So I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to pick another one. So that's Circle of Life, bringing everything back around to where it began. And then we're able to potentially start over, but it's not a flat plane when we come back around to the same thing. I like to see it a little more dimensional than that. So it's a spiral, and up and down doesn't matter, because north and south doesn't matter, but it's a spiral. So we may come back to a similar place, but a lot else has changed. So not all is lost. Everything that's going on in the world right now is part of a normal cycle. Whether we see the end of it or not is, who knows? Time is time. Is it fluid? It certainly isn't linear. All right, I'm going off on little tangents now. So we'll leave us with that. And we'll see you again tomorrow. And please comment, like, and share. Really share. I love this too. go out to your groups. I would appreciate that. It would help support me in this platform. So thank you so much, everybody. Blessings and namaste.